Before we begin, I want you to slow this moment down. I want you to take a deep breath in, relax your shoulders, your jaw. Focus on your breath. Breathe in peace, clarity. Breathe out all the challenges, all the pain, all the doubt. Breathe in a new season. Because this episode isn't about anything next. It's about taking stock of what's already here. This is the refining table. Not a place to judge your year, not a place to fix it, a place to see it clearly. Simple as that. Most people think growth means adding more goals, more effort, more plans, more pressure, but you have done the work. You're here. You have data, you have information, you have perspective. This is the refining that works differently. Refinement is how systems stay alive without collapsing. It's how businesses last. It's how people stop burning themselves down while trying to move forward. Refining doesn't ask, what should I push harder into? It asks, what actually deserves to stay? And that question changes everything. You can work very hard inside a system that doesn't fit anymore. You can succeed there, produce results, hit milestones, be praised, and still feel quietly depleted. Not exhausted, just not full. Less patient, less generous, less present. That's not failure. That's a system asking to be refined. Because effort can carry misalignment for a while, but only coherence can carry you long term. So imagine this as a real table. Nothing fancy, no agenda, just space. You're not here to defend your choices. You're not here to optimize either. You're here to place things on the table. Unpack all your baggage. Put it all out on the table. And look at them honestly, one by one. What stays? Let's start here. What actually worked? Not what looked good. Not what impressed people. Not what you feel obligated to keep because you invested so much time, but what really supported you? Where did the energy come from? Who gave you the most energy? It could be money, it could be time, space, presence. What felt steady even when things got complex? Even in the chaos, there's always a silver lining. When you're in traffic, you're in your car and you're still going to the destination, right? So is it really a bad day, or is it just going through a challenging phase? What gave back as much as you asked for? What didn't require you to override yourself to receive it or maintain it? This might be a way of working, a relationship, a boundary, a rhythm, a pattern you're noticing, a role you finally grew into. If something supported you and the outcome, that's gonna stay. No justification required. So, here's what goes. This is the part people rush, dramatize, avoid, procrastinate. So don't rush it. Slow down. Really take the moment to look at what quietly drained you. What quietly drained you? We can do this by phase, quarter by quarter, week by week, day by day, year by year. Not in a catastrophic way, but in a subtle way. The thing that made you sigh before even responding. You knew you were done before you had that expression. The obligation you kept positioning. The obligation you kept postponing. The commitment that required you to disappear a little each time you showed up. What only worked because you kept compensating for it? That doesn't mean it was wrong. It just means that season has ended, that phase is over, and things can be useful without being permanent. So let's let that go. Things can work without being worth repeating. Let that go. Let them go without rewriting history. because we are here to be on the leading edge of the present and being an active participant and moving forward from there. So here's what gets refined at the refining table. This is where maturity lives. This is where been there, done that gets to be practiced. Refining is not a removal, it's an adjustment, it's a shift, it's a pivot. What still matters, but not in the way you've been carrying it. What could stay if the structure changed? If the pace maybe slowed down, softened? If the expectations became more honest? This is where you stop throwing things away just because they were heavy and instead ask whether they were really badly designed. Refining asks, what would make this sustainable? How can I keep this around a little longer? It does serve me. It does do things that benefit the journey of momentum, of being present and moving forward. It doesn't make me repeat that history, but damn, is it hard. It's not exciting, it's not impressive, but it's sustainable. Here's what gets protected. This is the quietest category, by the way, and the most important. What cannot be compromised again here on out moving forward? Not because you're rigid or you're bitter, but because you finally know the cost of not doing it. This might be your mornings, your energy, your decision-making clarity, routines, habits, thoughts, your creative attention, your sense of self inside your work. Protection is not restriction. It's just respect for yourself, respect for the vision, and respect for the lifelong journey you have pursued. It is very disrespectful to move forward and not protect the things that deserve protection, not protect the things that need to stay so you can effectively and efficiently get to your destination. And once something is protected, it stops requiring willpower and it just becomes who you are. And isn't that why we're really here? Here's why this journey isn't about urgency, by the way. Nothing at this table requires immediate action. It actually is better when you see the awareness in it. If you're feeling the urge to do something after listening, that's old conditioning. Refining doesn't rush, it settles. It lets the system reorganize itself naturally. Once the truth is visible, clarity does most of the work on its own. You will intuitively take actions, intuitively have a behavior, a response, an expectation towards that thing, intuitively. And that's where we want everything to live. So here's the quiet audit we're going to do. Instead of asking, what should I do next year? What should I do next month, next week? Try asking, what did this year teach me about what actually works? Not what worked once, what worked without costing too much. That's a distinction that changes everything. You don't refine because you failed, you refine because you succeeded and you want to continue succeeding. You want to keep what you've built in motion. Refining is how you protect momentum, how you prevent resentment, bitterness, anger, how you stop paying the same hidden costs over and over again. Refining is how you keep what you've worked for and amplify the rest. So before you go, take one more breath, deep, deep, deep and slow, unforced. Just be here, be present. Notice if anything in you feels quieter now, more settled, less braced, less tension. That's not because you have answers, by the way. It's because you stopped arguing with reality. You don't need to decide anything tonight or tomorrow or next week. Just return to this table when something feels heavy again. Keep doing that every moment and watch how fast your reaction to things shift, how easy you start to manage the change that inevitably happens in your life on a day-to-day. That's where clarity lives. It's not urgent, it's not forceful. This is refining. Refining doesn't happen because something went wrong. even though that's a great motivator. It's happening because something worked. You don't want to lose yourself repeating it. This is how people protect the life they've built. This is that new legacy thinking. Instead of burning it down in the name of improvement, refining is not a retreat. It's something you step into and embody, becomes a lifestyle. This season was never about fixing you. It was all about helping you notice, become aware, where effort had been compensating for structure, where momentum and movement and busyness was being maintained by force, and where success quietly asked for a better path. You don't need another breakthrough, even though they are amazing on this journey, and you're gonna get more of it regardless. However, the top priority is you need a way to keep what you earned without paying the same invisible costs. That's what refining does. So, when things start to feel heavy again, when progress begins to require explanation, when success starts asking you to override yourself, don't ask, what am I doing wrong? Should I quit? No. What needs to be refined so this can last? That's the question. That question will take you further than any push ever could, any motivational call ever could take you. Nothing here requires urgency. You don't need to act. You don't need to decide. You don't need to become someone else. Just remember this place. Because refinement is how you keep what you've worked for and return to it and amplify it and make it be a lifestyle. Whenever that weight shows up again, you know where to go.